Hello, beautiful people. As you can see, today I'm here with my guest, Keepa. Keepa is studying with me in the same program of the European Social Work with Children and Youth Master's degree, and she's visiting Poland right now. So we decided to record something together. And today we will be talking to you about the importance of the Erasmus Mundus in Nepal, where Keepa is from. We'll be talking of the importance of the social work in Nepal and many other interesting things, so stay with us and let me know later what you think. For the start, Keepa, could you introduce yourself to us? Tell us a little bit more about yourself. Whatever.
Hi, my name is Keepa and I am from Nepal, and I am currently doing a master's in social work with children and youth. So that's it.
Okay, perfect. So I guess the first and the most important question is, how did you actually hear about the Erasmus Mundus opportunity?
Okay, so in the university that I was doing my bachelor's in, we had some alumni who were recipient of this award. So I heard that there is this thing called Erasmus Mundus, and it gives opportunity to go Europe and study in different country in each semester. So, but it felt like, okay, it's such a competitive and big scholarship, because the guy who won when I was on my freshman year, when it was my first year, he was like so intimidating. Like he was so like it felt like he was such a big personality. And so the fact that he got it, and I was like even scared to apply it, because I thought like you need like that level of dedication and personality to get it. He was the one who gave us orientation during our freshman year, and I was like, okay, so you need to have that level of dedication. It was so cool. So I applied. When I applied it, I gave my all. So during our orientation, he was saying that you should get some work experience, get good grades, and it kind of motivated me. So I was like, okay, that's the target. So that's what I should be focusing on. And I knew about other scholarships too. So I was like, okay, at least now I have the background of it.
Okay, so here I have one more question. What was the timeline? When did you first hear about the opportunity, and how long did it take you to prepare, and how difficult was it to actually apply? So a few questions in one.
Okay.
If you could.
So I first heard about it in like 2015. That was on my first year as a bachelor's degree student, and it just went off my mind. I heard about it but didn't really think much on it. That I would apply for Erasmus. Actually, I thought I would apply for other scholarship students, because for me Erasmus felt like, okay, it's a big thing that I'm targeting towards. But I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot on my final year. So I started applying. I graduated in 2019, and I started applying in 2020. I applied to Erasmus, DAD scholarships, and Chevening. Like basically any scholarship I heard, I applied.
Okay.
And I had applied for few Erasmus opportunities. Actually, this wasn't the only one I applied to. I applied to the one called rural development too, but I was rejected. That was the first one I applied it, and I was rejected. So I was very disheartened, and then I was like, it took me almost almost 2 years to get this scholarship, I guess. When it comes to like applying, because I had to give my IELTS, I had to prepare. You have to write. So I had to write, like, make my CV look pretty. I had to work on it. So it took me about 2 years to get this scholarship. Actually,
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's quite a dedication.
Yes.
But when you finally got it, and it turned out to be the Masters in Social Work with Children and Youth, what did you think about it? Why did you apply for this particular program?
Okay, I was sure I wanted to do something related to children, or project management, or rural development. That was the area. I had 3 themes in my mind, and I applied to so many, like I said. So this was the last program I applied to, because IELTS is like only valid for 2 years, and when I was applying for this one, it was on my last year of validity. So I did, this was the last one I applied, and this is the one I got. So and I was like, because when I was looking through the program, it was regarding children. They were offering mainly this career counseling thing option, but which we were not able to get, but it was something in the program. And it was really exciting for me because I was working with children at that time when I was applying, and it was all because in Nepal, when it comes to social work, we are always, it's about program development, project development, and I thought that's what I would learn from this program, and it's what inspired me to apply for this. Yes.
Okay, and here you kind of entered the topic of another question, the area of another question, which would be, what is actually the situation of social work in Nepal? And here I refer to children and youth. How does it look like, since this is our specialization? What would you say about this area in Nepal? Like, what does it refer to? What is included in this, slogan, social work with children and youth? What is it?
It's such a big, but also like very taken for granted field. Also, people like don't even like, they just regard it. When I go back home, and then in home, when I say I'm a social worker, they don't really take me seriously, to be honest. Like, I'm considered as someone who just works for NGOs. So NGOs in Nepal, it's basically like mostly is donor based. So you get financial aid from like different organizations, international organizations mainly. So there's this conception that I just work for them, and I'm just like giving stuff to the people. I'm just working, like it's not taken seriously, which is very sad. And it's the same with working with children. It just means that I go to school and I teach children some basic things on life, which is not exactly true, because we have to look more into, we have to think really critically on how we want to develop this program, how we want to teach this, what are we teaching these children. And that was something I thought social work I would be learning more on, like how to interact with children. But when I came here, I realized that social work is a legitimate field. Like they especially in sector of working with children and youth, like you need to get license to work with children and youth, because if you don't need a license to be a social worker in Nepal, like you can have an engineering degree and work for an NGO and still be called a social worker.
Yes.
So so it kind of shows that social work is a very unregulated field, profession. And then here it's such a big thing, like you're given support by the government, and then you're like actually taking care of people who are in need, and especially children. And back home you can see street children everywhere. There is no government who's actually looking after them, I feel. And now I was like, it's such a big scope that I was like not aware about.
Yes, but it seems like you are learning so much, like you're getting so much new perspective on that field.
Exactly.
And since this is such an unregulated and unknown field in Nepal, then I guess it's good for people like you, because there is a lot of room for the work, for the improvement.
And the thing is, like, social work as a field, it's been around for like 30 years actually. So it's not like it's something, it's not new, but it's still unregulated. Like here, I hear like when we were going to one of the field visits, I remember in Latvia, I think, like they said it was about the same amount of time that Latvia got introduced to social work. But there it's a regulated profession. And I was like, okay, same amount of years, what's happening? Where are we lacking? Like, why are we lacking in this area? I was like, okay. I felt so much pressure at that moment. Like, okay, how do I bring about this concept of social work back home? Because I'm like I felt like I am one person. How do I bring this one thought into this huge world of pot? I was like, I felt such a pressure that day.
That's a really good question. Okay, so moving on, another question that I think the viewers might be interested in as well. What actually does it mean for you to get the Erasmus Mundus degree? For you as a Nepali student, for you as a student of social work, what does it actually give you to have the Erasmus Mundus degree?
For me, I think it mainly gives me the exposure to this culture, to this environment that I was not aware of. I get to meet people like you, I get to expand my network and learn from them. So it's mostly about gaining a very wide perspective of what social work means to this, how social work works, how like I feel like people here when they work with organizations, they're genuinely working. Like they genuinely do want to help. They're not doing it just for like job. They regard it as a job, but they're genuinely in this field. And it's something so inspiring for me. Like I felt like over the years as I was working, I was going through a bit of burnout, and now that I'm here, I feel more energized in this field. Like okay, I feel like more connected to why I chose this field. Like and at one point I was like, why did I choose social work? Why didn't I choose the computers degree or something? I did feel that at one point, but now as I volunteer more, as I go involved in more projects and visit more organization, I'm like, okay, I feel like I can actually make impact on some people. I can't make impact on everyone. It's impossible task, but at least by doing this field I can make an impact on someone, and it's like
it's already good enough.
It's already good enough for me.
Than good. And what does it mean for the job market? I mean, having the Erasmus Mundus degree, what is the importance of it on the job market in Nepal?
Okay, I feel like in Nepal, as if I say some in my CV, like I'm an Erasmus scholar, it's already a huge plus point because it's a full scholarship awardee, and it's like it's a very competitive one. So it already puts me. I really do hope this, by the way, that it gives me a bit of edge amongst other candidates. I can't say it because I haven't really applied, but that's what I've heard from my previous seniors from my university and my other colleagues, my seniors in my work office, that if you have an international degree, and especially if you have a full scholarship degree, it's like a huge plus point for you in the job market when I can go back home. But like I said, if what I've learned here, if I can go back home and implement it, I hope it can be a huge thing for me.
Amazing, because I feel like in Europe there is still this connotation of Erasmus program being this one semester going on the road to Spain or Italy or France and partying all the time connotation. So I feel like in Europe this degree doesn't mean so much as it would mean to you. So it's very interesting that there is such a big difference.
Because for us it's like, okay, the day I got this, when I tell my friends back home, my family, they're already like, you got this? It's a huge deal that I was able to, because it's a huge competition in this field to get it. And I was like,
okay,
it's a huge deal.
Amazing. And okay, the question that came to my mind right now is, how do you actually feel here in Europe? I mean, how do you find, your being here? Like how is life going, compared to what you had back in Nepal?
I feel like it's a dream come true, to be honest. A dream that, to be honest, I don't want to wake up from. And I'm still awake. And it's already gonna be a year, I'm gonna finish it. And next year, I'm so scared that actually this is ending. Because it's really like, it's a dream come true for me. Because I get to explore, I get to meet new people, I'm learning so many things. Like from where I am to where I was to where I am now, I feel like I don't want it to end so soon, and I'm actually it actually scares me that it's ending so soon. I'm like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah, we have one more year to finish, so it's going by quickly.
Exactly. So now I have to think about, okay, what life after Erasmus Mundus? What does it bring? And that's a very scary thought, to be honest.
Scary and a big question. Yes,
exactly.
Okay, so what would you say to the future aspiring Erasmus Mundus students? What is your lesson? What is your
My lesson would be like, if you're applying, it would be like, okay, just like, it's a long process. I'll just say it's a long process, but when you get it, I hope it would be worth it for you guys. And once you get it, I suggest to not, be so serious just about studies and stuff, but I would encourage you to explore the opportunities around you. Like, even with an Erasmus degree, you can do a lot of volunteer work, you can meet organizations, be part of other projects, and just like expand yourself, travel, look at the world through like different lenses. Like, don't be just stuck in one place and just think about like, oh, studies and future, but like just explore. Like, you will not get this time back. Like, I want to live this 2 years as much as possible, because I know once this goes, I want to look back to these memories and just like, oh, I did this, I did that, and just like make sure to live every moment of it, and don't just like be stuck in one room. And
that's
exactly.
amazing. That's amazing. So thank you, Keepa. Thank you very much for being here.
For having me. So happy to be in your vlog.
So if you, it's okay. So if you guys have any questions regarding Nepal and regarding the application for the Erasmus Mundus from Nepal, then maybe I will invite Keepa once again to explain it to you in more details. But for today, that will be everything. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see each other next time. Bye.